Welcome back. Some news of the day, and it's Thanksgiving south of the border, so I don't expect players and owners to be talking much at all today. But Nick Robertson, Leafs prospect, who's hoping to make the team, he is in Canada rather than being with his family for Thanksgiving. So there are players right now who are sacrificing a day with their family in order to chase their NHL dream, showing again we should be able to get to a season this year. We should be able to. Now, according to the way that the Flames are approaching it, and I would imagine a lot of the coaches are approaching it this way anyways. Jeff Ward is approaching it as if the games are starting January 1st. And I think most players and teams are. Despite all the numbers being where they are, despite all the other drama around professional sports in North America, the players and the coaches are looking at this like, all right, I got to get back to work. And that's the thing. They want to get back to work. So I still think this gets worked out. I don't think we hit the ground running January 1st, but I do think we'll see some kind of resolution. Hopefully, come on, tomorrow. I legit would sit down for free and barter this if I could. If I could sit between the two and just say, all right, NHLPA, what do you guys want? You're not getting that. NHL, what do you... No, okay, all right, here's what we're going to do. Okay, you get this, how do you feel? Okay, you're making a face. That tells me nobody's happy. Let's get back to work. Because honestly, the more this drags out, the more it makes it arduous for me. When I'm happiest on this channel is when we have the draft, when we have free agency, and when there's games on and I can do previews and reviews. I think that's the most comfortable form for the hockey guy to exist in. And then the longer the off season goes, the more I'm going to have to do list videos, which leads to endless debate online and all this stuff. And it ends up becoming, I don't know. I mean, it's important because you have to generate the traffic and the income and all that when you're a YouTuber. But it can be somewhat of a headache where it's like, I never said my opinion was more worthwhile than anybody else's. That's why we have the discussions. And I appreciate the discussions as well. I miss the discussions in person too. I do. I really miss sitting down at a Boston Pizza with a bunch of subscribers and then having that debate over goaltenders, defensemen, forwards, teams, good teams, bad teams, good coaches, bad coaches, and all of that other stuff. And I miss that. So the longer that this off season goes, the more I miss all of that. The more I miss doing previews and reviews for everybody. The more I miss doing my standard content that I really enjoy doing. So yeah. Moving back into the board and the news of the day. Hockey Canada is suspended for 2 weeks. So positive tests and concerns about other positive tests yet to come. They've basically put it all on hold for 2 weeks. This is a massive blow to the Canadian team. I know they're elite level athletes, but the problem is the elite level athletes for the other teams, they're still going to be working out. They're still going to be getting ready for the tournament. It definitely puts the Canadian team behind the eight ball, even if there's ways for them to work out, even if there's ways for them to, stay somewhat focused, it's going to put them behind in terms of team chemistry. And for Hockey Canada, coming up with a team, there's times where we'll see like the Canadian team gets picked and we go, wow, that guy didn't make it. And it may be a chemistry issue where they go, yeah, he's a great individual player, but on our team, it's just not going to work. That's definitely going to be hindered by the 2 weeks off because that puts you right into mid-December. This is supposed to start on Christmas. So it's going to be tough. And they're using the bubble environment that was used by the NHL to great success. But coming into the bubble, you're going to have problems. The NHL, of course, famously, it was Tampa and St. Louis that had outbreaks on the team, and it led to shutdowns. People like, oh, that's it, shut the whole thing down. It's going to happen again with the NHL as we get closer, and it's a matter of figuring out a way to make all of this work. So Hockey Canada is going to have to figure out how to make it all work as well. Best of luck to them, because it would be great if I'm reporting on a Canadian gold medal at the end of all of it. Montreal. I've seen speculation from a couple of places about how bad their power play is and how they can fix it this year. I think that in order to fix the power play, it's going to be new blood that does it. They've had some guys who, yes, I think they put the puck in the net okay, but are they that pure offensive talent you need to make a power play work? I don't think the Montreal Canadiens have necessarily had that. So Romanov on the point could be a huge difference maker, and not to slag Weber at all. I think Romanov has the potential to be that good offensively. He could be their Torrey Krug. Suzuki, Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi definitely has that offensive upside, and then you don't have to worry about any kind of a defensive weakness he may have while he's on the power play. And Suzuki's just great at everything he does, and he's strong on the puck. So I think that could be the key to turning things around. So I really think that from year to year, your power play is probably going to fluctuate. Montreal's power play will get better, and maybe Nashville's will as well. And even Ottawa are looking at likely a better power play this coming year. The interesting thing, of course, is that when we had the return before those play-in and playoff games started, there was speculation like, with all this time off and not a lot of run-up to this, the power plays are just going to run wild. And it was actually the opposite. The penalty kill had an easier time getting up to speed than the power plays. And in the NHL this year, if we end up in a situation where it feels kind of rushed through training camp to the regular season, early on, power play numbers could be anemic. And so that's possible that we could see some really anemic power plays to start the year. If Montreal's one of those teams that starts out with an anemic power play, I would watch for some panic from Montreal fans, and definitely from media. Probably less from fans than from media. Let's say their first 3 games, they go 0 for 6 on the power play, 0 for 9 on the power play. I think you'll see plenty of what's wrong and what can get fixed, and should they fire Claude Julien? There'll be all those discussions. The answer is no on firing Julien. Tampa Bay, there's been no progression on Cirelli talks. His agent says nope. And yet Julien Brisebois, the general manager, he has to say this, doesn't he? He is confident that they're going to be able to make cap space to sign the restricted free agents. What else is he going to say? This is one of those things where the press will ask, well, do you think you're going to be able to make space? Nope. I'm terrified. If anybody makes an offer to Sergachev, Cirelli, or Chernak, we're not going to be able to match it. Is he going to say that? No. I don't think they have anything to worry about when it comes to Chernak, because I think of the 3, Sergachev now being signed, of course, putting them above the cap. Cirelli, I think, is a bigger part of that team than Chernak. I think you can replace what Chernak does. It's not easy, but I think you can. So if they ended up losing Chernak out of all this, that's the one of the 3 you'd clearly say, I guess we'll be okay with losing him over losing Sergachev, over losing Cirelli. But again, I don't know what the GM's expected to say, because no GM in his right mind would come out and admit, oh, I'm panicked. 3-4 years from now, if he sat down in an interview and he's honest, he'll probably say, yeah, no, I was terrified, but I'm not going to admit it, because you can't. It's the whole thing is a game of poker, game of chess the whole way through. You just can't give it up. Of course, I say game of chess reminds me of Queen's Gambit. Very good show. If you haven't watched Queen's Gambit, I'm not sure what you're doing. I even started that Emily in Paris, but it's kind of, We watched the first episode, and I'm like, this is it? This is what everybody was talking about a few weeks ago? All right. I may give it a couple more episodes, but it's just kind of sacre bleu, I guess. I'm well aware. When I use French, I know I'm not using it correctly. Jake DeBrusk has come out and said he wants to hit more. He intends to be stronger and hit more. And as a Bruins fan, I say that would be a very good idea. Your last name's DeBrusk. It's in your genetic code to go out there and hit like a Mack truck. Now, DeBrusk is a goal scorer, and I wouldn't want to see his goal scoring negatively impacted. But if he did have some more physicality to his game, and if he's accurate in saying he wants to get about a hit per game, that would be nice. That'd be good. The Bruins are known as a big hitting team. They're really not. They're not as big a hitting of a team as you might think. And DeBrusk is one of those guys that you expect more physically out of him than you get. I'm looking forward to seeing him play a more rounded game that way as well, and crash the net plenty. Because again, his last name's DeBrusk. He might want to take advantage of that. Louis DeBrusk was not known for his goal scoring. It was one of his many, many, many talents. He was a multifaceted player in the game. And I'm sure he would tell you that. I don't know if he would or not. The one thing that's been driving me nuts. So we have all these retro jerseys out there, but they're not available yet. So of course I'm wearing my Blasty right now. I'm looking forward to the Adidas version of this. But am I the only one that's going kind of a little squirrely on this whole thing, that All right, now, when am I getting them? Oh, well, the mail's slowed down everywhere. And, because volumes right now for Canada Post are double the all-time record for for mail. So it's a lot of mail. And I have no idea when I'm getting them. And it's sort of driving me a little bit squirrely because I'm really looking forward to that. And I've discussed with members and Patreon as well what the plan is. I've already discussed on the members videos which ones I've already pre-purchased. There are a few I had to go through team stores because I can't find them anywhere else. But yeah, the anticipation I think is just making me a little bit squirrely because I really want to be able to do that. Now, one thing I want to know, and this is an idea I've had. But I know Post to Post did something similar, so I don't want to do something and have it look like, well, Shannon's, that's what Neil did on Post to Post. I respect them a lot. I would like to when I get these jerseys, do videos using my phone, which I've used for jersey videos before, like that Tampa one I got, right? Because I think my phone shows more detail than the webcam does, obviously. Um, and I'd like to do a video on each jersey as I get it, just to go over the fine details of it. But again, he did a review of each team's jersey, so what would you guys think? Just a standard unboxing, or should I do a video where I go over the jerseys maybe for each team? So if you're on the fence about whether or not you want to get that jersey, my video could show that there's maybe a detail in it that you say, you know what, it is an upgrade over what I have, or yeah, it's worth it for me to get that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It is driving me nuts basically all day because I've even stopped bothering with anything else. Although I did find a red Buffalo Sabres with the crossed swords. I found a red one in my size. The one I have in my collection is an extra large, which is a dress on me. I wore that in a video not too long back, and I went upstairs to talk to my wife about something, and she said, well, you're wearing a dress. I'm like, yeah, it's an extra large. So I'm looking forward to having one in my size. That's nice. But hey, thank you guys so much for all your support all the way through. And again, happy Thanksgiving to those in the U.S. We already had our Thanksgiving up here. When I had my Thanksgiving, of course, it was just with our family in our home. We didn't invite anybody over. I didn't go out. We didn't go anywhere else. It's 2020, so that's sadly the way that it is compared to last year where we did have family over for Thanksgiving. And Christmas, it looks like it's going to be very similar. It's just going to be us here in the house. And again, as I mentioned in a video recently, we're doing Christmas all month this coming month. We've already got lights everywhere. I don't have my tree in the room here yet, but I'm going to. And I've even got a fun idea for how to do some Christmas ornaments for the tree that are all NHL logos. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your support throughout, and I will be here every day to continue to do these videos for all you fine people, and I'm looking forward to reporting on the NHL's return soon. All right, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video because the channel's so close to 170,000, which feels like it's a nice round number. So I would make a 69 joke here, but I really shouldn't. So we're not going to talk about how long we've been in that or how you might cramp up. And we're not going to talk about because you just can't. You just can't. You just can't. So thank you guys so much for all your support. Like I said, I will talk to you again soon.